Hey, my lovelies. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. So if you're tuning in via YouTube, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're tuning in via the podcast, hey, how are you doing today? So today we're doing the daily vibration for January 8th, 2020, and we're vibrating on the number 4. Now, before I jump into today's vibration, I just want to let you guys know the monthly specials are in the description box below. We do have a few more slots left for a donation of $31.73, where you can get a personal reading / coaching session with me. All of the classes that I offer are also in the description box below. We're going to do a full moon meditation this week, and that is going to be for a donation of $20. Okay. And that is also going to be in the description box below, where you can make your donation for $20 for the meditation on Friday, January 10th. Okay. So we will be doing paid for with Friday returning on the 17th of January, because we're doing the full moon meditation this week. It's going to be by private invite only via your donation. Okay. Now, I also want to remind you guys that these dailies are posted every day at 12:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, not just on YouTube, but also they're uploaded on my podcast. You can also stream via my podcast. You can find those links also in the description box below. So I've been kind of sitting in this energy for a few days now, and I got a few emails about people feeling the need to maybe like they're missing something, they're questioning themselves, they're doubting themselves. I think I talked about this a little bit yesterday, right? So people in a place or in a position where they feel like they're questioning themselves, they're questioning the steps, they're questioning the process. They may be feeling a little bit of resistance, okay? Now, I want you guys to know what we have going on in the atmosphere right now is we do have Pluto in conjunction with Saturn. So we have transformation in conjunction with structure, okay? When something is in conjunction, that is power. So we have transformation or transformative power taking place right now, okay? Be mindful of that. So Saturn's energy is all about order, structure, the timekeeper. It also rules governmental systems. And because we also have that energy with Pluto there, that represents transformation and getting to the depths of things, right? And really getting rid of things that don't serve you so you can live and be your best and highest self, okay? So you have both of them working together as they're in conjunction with each other. But you also have a space within yourself where it's presenting you an opportunity to release the things that don't serve you. Okay. Now, all of this is interesting because I've been feeling this energy for a few days now. And the energy can go from maybe feeling a little bit more empowered on some days, or maybe throughout the days, to feeling like you're not sure if you're making the right decisions, to feeling like you know you're on the right path, but you may not know the right step. Some of you, if you're super sensitive, you can feel the collective anxious energy in the atmosphere, especially for those of you that have been paying attention to what's going on in the collective, as a lot of these systems and these paradigms are being broken down so they can be restructured, okay? Now, if you look at life as a symbol and everything that is unfolding in front of you in real time as a symbol and a guide to get you to where you need to be, you will not feel the need to be worried, okay? So I talked about this a little bit in my 13-week crew on Sunday, right? Where we talked about a purge that was going to take place. Now, This purge has been happening for a while, and it's happened in many different ways, in many different platforms. So this is not something that has not been happening. This has been happening, okay? For some people, this purge is happening emotionally. For some people, this purge is happening physically. And for some people, this purge is happening mentally, right? And then there's polarities and everything, right? So just be mindful, just depending on where you are in your own walk, right? Where you are in your own path. Your experiences could be totally different from someone else's experiences, although you guys are living within an experience within itself. So you can be, and I talked about this before in one of my segments of my podcast. I talked about being able to walk in a world where your life and your experiences and your reality is now governed by how you see it. Okay, like we're now a full-fledged in a time where you're going to have to take control of your reality and your perception of a thing. So we can all go to the movies together and we can watch the same movie. We can all laugh at the same scenes. We can all cry at the same scenes. We can all get angry at the same scenes. However, each and every one of us can still walk out at that movie theater with totally different interpretations of the same movie that we just sat and watched together. Okay. Now, be mindful about that as you are moving throughout your day. Perception is going to be key because today we're vibrating on a number 4, which is all about self-mastery. This may entail some self-control and some self-discipline. Okay, because that is in the atmosphere today. And I wrote down self-care because I think sometimes for those of us that are doing the spiritual work, or for those of us that are just trying to find ourselves, or for those of us that are just trying to figure things out, or for those of us that just know that there's some shit going on and you can't quite put your finger on it, like seriously, right? You know, at some point in time in your life, you know internally when you need to make some changes, right? Now, so self-care is going to be needed today, okay? May it be just some encouraging words that you need to say to yourself. May it be you taking a time out and doing some pampering, some self-pampering. Whatever that means to you today. May it be you just decided not to work through your lunch because you've been doing that for the past 2 days now. Like whatever it is you need to do today to have some self-care, that's going to be important today, okay? And so self-control and self-care is in the atmosphere today. You do have intuitive energy in the atmosphere, and we talk about this every day. I know sometimes I may sound like a broken record when I go over intuitive energy and how important it is for you to be intuitive and to trust your intuition, right? For those of you that really want to master self, you need to get to a point where your voice stands out very clearly and louder than anyone else's. Okay? Even if there's chaos going on around you, you still need to be able to identify your voice from within. Okay? So, self-control is going to be needed. Paying attention to your intuitive nature, as usual, is going to be needed. We do have mastery, self-mastery, which ties in with the self-discipline and the self-control today, as well as self-care. Like I said, today's all about self-care. Whatever you need or whatever that means to you, okay, you need to take some time out to do that today. I know it's not the weekend, but you can take 5 minutes to self or for self today, okay? Even if that's 5 minutes going on the internet to look up vacation prices because you need a vacation. Yes, it's the first of the year. I get it. Right? But some of you has been on autopilot for a long time because it may have been vacation for the kids, but you may not have had a full 2 weeks off like our children did. So just be mindful of that. Self-care may be needed for some of you today, okay? Now, Organization is going to be key today for some of you. Exactitude is going to be key today for some of you. Some of you will need to be very exact in your communication today when dealing with others. Okay, so be mindful of that. Building solid foundations is going to be important to some of you today. And we're in a new fiscal year. Okay. I don't know, my views have changed a lot. Like, the more I study and the more I learn, my views and my perception, they are changing a lot. And I don't, like, my belief system is my belief system. Okay. Intuitively, I tap in, I feel, and I share with you guys, intuitively what I pick up. And, I came across some information as I was studying, because I do, obviously I love astrology. And it made so much sense. It made so much sense as just the timing. So although it's a new year, we are still in hibernation mode. So I want you guys to understand that. And I also want you guys to understand that a lot of this energy that you're feeling is a process. It's slow moving energy. If you can look at just the process of what it takes a seed to come out of its shell once you plant that seed in the ground. The whole analogy. When you bury a seed, that seed has to die. It goes into darkness. It can't see anything. It can't hear anything clearly. The hearing may be muttered. It has to fight its way out of or expand or blossom out of the shell, right? Because you don't see the apples in the seed. You just see a seed. So if you don't believe, right, we would not have apples. If somebody didn't believe that there can be apples or there can be fruits produced from a tiny little apple seed, we won't have apples, right? So be mindful today, as you're doing self-care and you're doing self-mastery, what seeds are you planting within self? Okay, this is why you're going to have to be disciplined and organized with your thoughts, and some of you exact with your thoughts. Okay, we do have lack of conviction in the atmosphere today, and we're building and creating solid foundations today with this energy. And this lack of conviction can lead to clumsiness. This can also lead to maybe even feeling lazy, or things are a little dull today. Okay, some people may not just want to be responsible today. Some people, so be mindful of that. Who are you asking to show up for you today? Or who are you showing up for today? Because sometimes we show up for people that don't even show up for themselves. So be mindful of that as you're shifting through this energy today. Okay, so let's get into the wisdoms for each zodiac sign today. I have pre-shuffled the cards, meditated on the cards, pre-shuffled the cards in meditation, because I really feel with this energy that we're now interacting with the conjunction with Pluto and Capricorn, right? What are you feeling? Pay attention to what you're feeling. Pay attention to what you're feeling, because there's an indication going on. Maybe what you need to focus more on, or what you need to let go. Okay? Now, one of the things that I like to tell my clients all of the time is, if you're not sure what to do, you do nothing. And I'm not talking about, there's some things that you need to do, and you need to execute, getting up, going to work, feeding the kids, doing laundry, like the basic stuff, you need to do those. Major decisions, if you are not sure what to do, you don't do anything. You wait until you center yourself, till you can get to a place to make the proper decision. This is why self-care is going to be important, because if you're not taking care of yourself, how do you expect to take care of another and not feel depleted after a while? So be mindful of that. So let's start off with Capricorns today, because it is Capricorn season. Okay, so we're going to start off with the earth signs, and we're going to start off with Capricorns. And Capricorns today, you guys have the Ten of Swords popping up, and this is popping up with the yellow border, which is all about solar plexus energy, your ego and your will. So I talk about the two voices that you can have on your shoulder. The ego that tells you limitations exist. The ego that tells you, yeah. You know that bitch deserves to get cursed out, right? You know that. You know she been, you know she lies, you know she don't even operate in integrity. Come on now, girl. You know, we could just stick. Come on now, right? Okay. So you could be interacting with or dealing with someone in your presence today that the energy is just kind of lower vibrational and maybe even ratchet in how they deal with things. This backstabbing energy, this could be betrayal energy, but this could also be crisis energy. However, this can also be energy of endings, where something has ended. This is dead. This is dead, honey. Okay. Now, because it's showing up with the solar plexus energy, you got one energy telling you, somebody may deserve to get, chopped up into little pieces, and served on a platter. Okay. However, you also have the angel on the other end telling you, come on now, this is an end. Just speak your truth, because your truth alone is sharp enough for someone, okay, to hit and hurt where it needs to hurt. All right. So pay attention to your ego and your will today. Let this be about endings. If something needs to end today, my wonderful Capricorn, versus you feeling like you need to operate with any of that lower vibrational backstabbing crisis energy. And some of you, this could just be someone that always runs to you in crisis mode, Capricorn. And that'll work really well for you guys, because once you feel maybe you've given someone advice a few times over the same bullshit, yeah, that's not going to sit and work very well for you. So just pay attention today as you're dealing with your ego. That's going to give you limitations and maybe even make you judgmental and have a perception of people that you don't know the full story of. So be mindful of that, versus your spirit, which really, what is your intention? Because whatever your intentions are towards another people, that is also your intentions towards yourself. So be mindful of that today, my wonderful Capricorns. Okay. Taurus, today you guys have the Tower card popping up. So this can represent some major changes, maybe even some sudden truth, some sudden knowledge coming into play. This is definitely change happening. And it's the same information with that ego and that will, like I just explained to Capricorns. Really pay attention, right, to the limitation that you'll be sitting in if you operate in your ego, versus the expansion you could be sitting in if you operate in your spirit. Okay. All right, Virgos, you guys have the Justice card popping up, and the Justice card is throat chakra energy, and throat chakra energy is all about communication. Some of you may be having to deal with the court system today, or maybe even some inter-office action with your job situation today. Just know integrity and Saturn is on your side. We do have that Pluto conjunction with Saturn. So there is going to be some justice and some order and some structure coming back in. So where justice is needed today, my wonderful Virgos, be open for that. Now, if you are the one Virgos that's been doing the fuckery, like, as you do unto another, like I just said, you do unto yourself. So just be mindful of that energy, okay? All right, my water signs, let's start off with Scorpio. You guys have the Chariot card popping up today, and this is popping up with the red border, which is all about root chakra energy. This is what's grounding you, okay? This is what's grounding you. This is what's allowing you to get to a place within yourself and acknowledge within yourself, right, that you can be victorious in anything you put your mind to. This is strength popping up, okay? This is you even asserting yourself within self, okay? This is letting go of your fears and stepping into your truth, okay? Self-care is going to be important for you today, my wonderful Scorpio, so just acknowledge that, okay? Cancers, today you have the Four of Coins popping up, which is the Four of Pentacles. This is heart chakra work. So today, this is definitely about control and stability. Now, that's the energy that we're in, vibrating on the number 4 today. So just be mindful of that. Self-care, checking in with your feelings and your emotions is still going to be important for you today, Cancers, okay? Because we're dealing with heart chakra work for you guys today. All right. Pisces, you guys have the Eight of Swords in reverse. I'm sorry, Eight of Cups actually in reverse. Now, it's popping up with the red border, which represents your root chakra energy. And with the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is you maybe walking away from something today. And we talked about that at the beginning of this video, or of this segment. We talked about being able to either release what no longer serves you, okay? Just stepping into a place where you're no longer being oppressed by your fears. You're ready to move forward, okay? So just be mindful today, my wonderful Pisces, that you have the opportunity to walk away from something, or you have the opportunity to sit in that hopeless energy. It's your choice, okay? Now, let's move on to my air signs. Geminis, today you do have the Knight of Swords in reverse, okay? Try not to be too hasty in your actions today, but more your words is what I'm hearing. Try not to be too hasty in your words today. Pay attention to what you're thinking, because sometimes if you don't have the full story, you're not going to be able to communicate clearly, okay? So don't communicate out of anger today, my wonderful Geminis. You want to be mindful, maybe to pause, right? Gain your bearings and then communicate, all right? So watch your emotions today, okay? Okay, Libras, today you have the Ace of Swords popping up. And the Ace of Swords is root chakra work. Once again, is popping up with that red border. This is what's grounding you. This is where your fears and your anxieties lie. However, today you're operating with clear energy today, my wonderful Libras, and your raw power. Your thoughts may be a little bit more clearer today, because if you take advantage of that self-discipline, you could gain a lot of revelation today. And that way you don't have to put your head in the sand, my wonderful Libras, okay? Aquarius, you guys have the Knight of Coins in reverse, okay? You guys could be feeling a little lazy today, maybe a little bored or feeling stuck today. The fix to that is self-care, as well as clearly communicating what you want today, my wonderful Aquarius. That's going to be important, okay? All right, fire signs, starting off with my wonderful Leos. You do have the Princess of Wands popping up. And the Princess of Wands is heart chakra energy, because it's popping up with this green border. And just so you know, my wonderful Leos, this can be very free spirit, all about discovering, feeling from the heart, exploring. But this can also be energy where you're interacting with someone that could be a little bit immature. And really may not pay attention to what direction you're moving in, because you may be a little bit too I want to say free, right? However, I do feel, Leos, like although you do have that energy, because you could be a little bit free with your words, and it's about discovery today. Like, you want to shine today, right? But I kind of feel like that's going to be governed more by your heart today, okay? And that shine could be with your partner. That shine could be with your kids. That shine could be with your family. But there's a need to feel like you want to shine today, or you want to be in the sun today, and be, in that loving energy. All of these butterflies represents that transformation energy, okay? So the Princess of Wands is saying discover, explore. Or you could be dealing with someone who's operating with, I'm about to discover and explore. Okay, so if you're with someone that really don't want to put a label on the relationship, and that's their stance, be mindful that they are going to take the opportunity to discover and explore, okay? All right, Sagittarius, you do have the Empress energy, and it's in reverse today. And this is colored by the green border, which is all about the heart chakra energy. So some of you today may be feeling like ain't shit popping off. You may feel like, I want to say, I don't know. Some of you could feel like you're a little dependent on others today. Okay. And that might not sit well with you, my wonderful Sagittarius. So you want to trust your intuition and do that self-care. Do that self-care that's needed. That's going to be important if you do that self-care today. That may ease some of that up, as well as following your intuition. Trust your heart today, my wonderful Sagittarius. Okay. Trust your heart, because you could also be dealing with someone that's dependent on you, and that could feel draining at times, okay? Aries, last but not least, you do have the Five of Coins, aka the Five of Pentacles, and it's showing up with a blue border. That is all about communication, okay? And with the Five of Coins or the Five of Pentacles, this is really maybe some of you have been isolating yourself. Some of you have been concerned about your finances. Some of you may have felt that, you know, maybe you overspent a little bit over the holidays. Some of you may have felt that you've overgiven over the holidays and maybe feel like you do need a timeout because you've been on autopilot, okay? Yeah, some of this is financial. Some of this is just I need to, you know, pull back. Some of you could feel isolated but still coming out of that holiday vibe energy. So love on yourself today, my wonderful, wonderful Aries, and communicate clearly what you want, especially if you're interacting with any energy where you need to speak up about your finances, okay? So collectively, the overall energy in the atmosphere today from the cards are four blue cards, which is throat chakra energy, which is all about communication today, guys, okay? So remember, intuitive energy is always in the atmosphere for you to be able to interact with. Today's about self-mastery, okay? Self-control, building solid foundations, discipline. Self-care is going to be key today. You're going to have to communicate with others what you need, okay? Clearly. Just be mindful. Some people will be operating with lack of conviction today, okay? All right, my love. So remember, we go live on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, this Friday, January 10th, we're going to be doing the live meditation, so there will not be a public live. But if you want to be a part of that meditation, you can donate $20 and receive the private link to the meditation. We will be returning to the Paid Forward Friday live on the 17th, which is next Friday. The individuals will start being uploaded today. So I want you guys just to love on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Check out the description box for the specials for the month. I am running some ridiculously low specials this month. So check that out. Check out the 3 classes that I'm offering also, especially if you want to learn how to trust your intuition. If you want to learn how to master yourself. If you want to learn how to work in your truth. Check out the classes in the description box below, and you can email me to get more information, okay? All right. I love you guys much. Be kind to yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Honor yourself, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's daily vibration.